Hi, everybody. This is Politics Today. I'm Gloria Moraga, political woman. Please subscribe. I need your support. It's Thursday, June 1st. Happy June, everybody. First day in June. Yep. We begin the day on a positive note. We are now one step closer to not defaulting on our massive debt. The United States House of Representatives passed a compromise bill to raise the debt ceiling yesterday. Let's listen.
Yeas are 314, the nays are 117. The bill is passed. Without objection, a motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
The House passed a bill to raise the debt ceiling on Wednesday, May 31st, clearing, according to everybody, a major legislative hurdle just days before the United States was expected to default. The final House vote was 314 to 117. 147 Republicans, 165 Democrats supported the measure. And House Speaker Kevin McCarthy pulled it off, but 71 members of his conference opposed the bill that he brokered with President Biden over the weekend. Biden, from the White House, applauded the House passage of the legislation, calling on the Senate to quickly take up the legislation to avoid a default. And the Senate is working to have a final vote on the legislation by Friday. And Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen is saying, hurry! And she is warned again that the federal government will be unable to pay bills starting June 5th unless the debt ceiling is raised. On Trump Watch, there is audio. There are audio recordings. Yeah, I hate to do it again, but another story on the Donald Trump classified documents case. And this is an exclusive from CNN. And here's the headline. Exclusive! Trump captured on tape talking about the classified document he kept after leaving the White House. I'm just going to read from the CNN article for a little bit because it's just for me to just futz around with it and maybe say something wrong. I don't want to do that. So here we go. Quote, federal prosecutors have obtained an audio recording of a summer 2021 meeting in which former President Donald Trump acknowledges he held on to a classified Pentagon document about a potential attack on Iran. Multiple sources told CNN, undercutting his argument that he declassified everything. Everything. The recording indicates Trump understood he retained classified material after leaving the White House, according to multiple sources familiar with the investigation. On the recording, which CNN reporters have not heard, but they had it described to them by multiple sources. So on the recording, quote, Trump comments suggest he would like to share the information, but he's aware of the limitations on his ability post-presidency to declassify records, two of the sources said. Meantime, a Trump campaign spokesman said, quote, leaks are meant to inflame tensions around Trump. So that was somebody speaking from the Trump campaign for president. Now, were you shocked? I was when I read the whole issue of classified documents and a possible attack on Iran. Well, apparently I was shocked because I missed a story in the New Yorker. And this story dropped in the final days of Trump's presidency. And basically, it's about the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milne, General Mark Milne. He was worried that Trump would give orders to launch an attack on Iran. And this story appeared in the New Yorker magazine, and the story infuriated Trump, according to reports. In that story, it was reported that in the months following the election, Milne repeatedly argued against striking Iran. And one was concerned that Trump, quote, might set in motion a full-scale conflict that was not justified. According to the story, Milne and others talked Trump out of taking such a drastic action, and that is according to the New Yorker story. Woof. I got to brace myself for this one. Here's the headline. Pittsburgh synagogue shooting survivors give horrifying testimony during second day of trial. That is the headline on KDKA's website. KDKA is the CBS affiliate in Pittsburgh. And here is a quote from that story. Dan Leger was shot that morning and saw his life pass before his eyes. On the morning of October 27th, 2018, Dan Leger and Jerry Rabinovich of the Dor Hadash congregation were preparing to read a Bible passage about Moses and Sarah welcoming a stranger into their tent. Moments later, a gunman entered the synagogue and began shooting. Jerry looked at me and said, "Oh, damn," Leger testified. We looked at each other and we knew we needed to do something to help. So we moved in the direction of the gunfire. That was perhaps a stupid thing to do, but that's what we did. Rabinovich was a doctor. He was a physician. Leger, a nurse. Leger said their professions had taught them to be helpers. But no sooner had he gone in the direction of the gunfire, he was shot in the stairway and fell on the steps with a gunshot wound to his abdomen. It was pain that gradually increased, a very intense pressure that became excruciating as it moved through my abdomen and my hips, he said. But he said he could hear gunfire and voices. He heard the voice of Irv Younger, who would die in the attack, calling in horror to Cecil Rosenthal, who would also die. Either Irv was alarmed at seeing the condition Cecil was in, or he was trying to warn him, Leger said. But Leger made not a sound because, quote, I realized if the shooter knew I wasn't dead, he would come back and finish the job. But being a nurse, Leger said, he realized he was dying. I viewed my life and I thought about all the wonder of it all, the beauty of it, and all the happiness I had experienced in my life, the joy of having two beautiful children and a beautiful wife. I was ready to go. And the reason that I'm reading this, because there were other people testified. I'm reading this because I want all of us to think about how beautiful life is. I viewed my life and thought about the wonder of it all and the beauty of it all. So we shouldn't wait until the last day of our lives or until somebody shoots us to think like that. You do it every day. And, of course, prepare to vote. And then he goes on. Their story goes on. After an hour, he saw pant legs appear before him. And he said, while he testified. Either this is a helper or the shooter. I was dying, and I had nothing to lose. He put up his hand and heard an EMT say, "This one's alive." What a story. This trial is going on, and I'll try to update you as we go along. In other news, we heard Mike Pence is going to run for president yesterday. That announcement officially is going to come next week, and I'm sure that announcement is going to be better than Ron DeSantis's announcement. And that is Political Woman for today. That is Politics Today. I'm Gloria Moraga. It is June 1st. It is Thursday. And I just want to say to all of you, think about the wonder of it all, the beauty of it all, and all the happiness that surrounds us. I'm Gloria Moraga, Political Woman. Please vote and be safe.